Some breaking news. Connell, Mcshane back with you here on Cavuto Coast to Coast. We've had so much success with our charts this week on the program. We put together a new unit. It's called Cavuto Research Analytics, and the smart people within that unit, it's an eternal unit, have put together the following chart ahead of our Bitter Boomers segment. Boy, we found an amazing correlation between age and bitterness. This really surprised me when I saw it, but the numbers don't lie. When you're a younger man, 15, or woman, 25, 35, we don't see much of a problem. But as soon as you hit the age of, say, a Charlie Gasparino, boy, do things start to skyrocket from there. And it's really direct. It gets a lot higher there. I mean, when you get up around Stephen Leeb's territory, it's scary. When you're in Charlie Brady's range, then it's off the charts. Then you got to get off the lawn. You got to get off the lawn. Off the lawn completely. Now, before we start the segment, I know you'll all be curious. What are these boomers so bitter about? Spit it out, Connell.
You.
No, they're not bitter about me. The biggest concern, the millennials. The biggest concern.
Are you kidding?
Number one on our survey. Again, the numbers are
China.
Social Security's number 2. This is a Stephen Leeb thing here, I think, on China. And the other category, a special creation for everything that Charlie Brady mutters under his breath in the newsroom. So that's what we put together in the ahead of the Bitter Boomers segment. I knew you liked the charts.
What is that on the side? Is that a German flag?
I'm not sure. But if I'm reading this right, Connell, we are more worried about millennials than we are about China, by a lot.
And China wouldn't even have registered if it wasn't for Mr. Leeb there. But it's weighted heavily towards Gasparino's rants.
Okay, well, you think these guys are going to take it sitting down? Well, they are sitting down, but they're not going to take it. We got Steve Leeb here, we got Charlie Gasparino, we got Lizzie MacDonald, and our senior editor, Charlie Brady. Charlie, come on, you're not letting that go, are you?
Listen, there's plenty to be bitter about. I mean,
oh boy.
You know, you liken the situation with the millennials to being in a relay race, and our generation's passing the baton, and the next generation is basically going to drop it. And where are we then?
Really? I saw some studies where Cougars, like hot older women, like these millennials better than us. Like, why is that? They have no money. They have no money. They have no money. Where are they getting? Millennials have no money. Olive Garden is their Del Frisco's.
Hey, don't go.
Wait, I mean, this is just an exaggeration of something that unfortunately began in the 60s. This massive sexual freedom. And it's getting worse and worse and worse.
We're just saying as you're getting older, the charts prove that you get more bitter.
No, you do get more bitter.
When you were a younger man. We've known each other for 30 years.
And I've gotten more bitter.
You've gotten crazier.
I know, and I am. And I'm getting more and more bitter at what I see is happening to this society. I mean,
what do you think about this trend about the Cougars going?
I think it's crazy, and I think it's I can't say it's
horrible.
Look, people can be free.
What he's referring to is,
and I don't think they don't go to jail.
There's a lot more happiness among older women who seek out younger men.
No, they live less. They don't live as long, for one thing. 2, Neil, this is so important. This is so important to realize. People like Aldous Huxley from the 30s, lots of British sociologists, etc., have done studies. If you want to predict how long a civilization is going to be around, predict how solid the families in that civilization are. If you have families that are solid, you're likely to last. We are deteriorating. We are deteriorating.
What's wrong with Cougars trying to start a family with a younger guy? No, I'm just kidding.
No, I have no problem with that. I have no problem with it.
Because I think he made it up myself. But do you think there is a connection between when you get older, you just get bitter and angry and you're furious at the world?
No, you don't get more bitter and angry, or you get bitter about the way things are being handled. But listen, for me, I'm getting so old, happy hour for me is a nap. So
cut it out.
Let me be serious and answer your question. What's wrong with Cougars starting a family with
you fixated on this?
Because it's unfair, and it's just bad.
Charlie,
but here's why. Here's what's wrong with it.
We're bitter.
They have no money. They have no money to start a family.
Charlie, I agree with you.
Keep talking over each other. We're saving time here.
I agree with you. Cougars starting a family, great if they're going to start a family.
Charlie,
but Cougars just having sex, one-night stands, not so good. Horrible.
By the way, this is why we're bitter. We can't stick to anything.
Unless it's with boomers. If they have sex with boomers, we're okay.
But Charlie, I mean, that's it. As you've gotten older, and no doubt wiser, and you work with a lot of young people around you. My entire staff, they had their ages together. They're not mine. Right. Now, do you get more annoyed because you're surrounded by young people and they don't appreciate it? And a lot of them call you pops.
Well, yeah, that's the worst part, or old man. Or grumpy. No, I think we've talked about this before. The work ethic isn't really the same. The drive for excellence.
Nailing it.
Yeah, well, Connell's sort of emblematic of that entire generation.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Connell. But,
I'm just distracted. The fact that I have Stephen Leeb talking about Cougars here, so that I can't even handle that.
Why do the Cougars like the way those guys dress?
Why are you looking at me when you say the word Cougar? By the way, I'm not going to date somebody younger.
That's a sign of not being bitter. That's a sign of not being bitter.
I don't think there's anything wrong with dating somebody younger, as long as it's a serious relationship. That's it.
Listen,
but see, that shows passion. That shows passion, right? And that's not bitter.
Well, look what Ashton Kutcher did to
what's wrong with these millennials is that basically this obsession with political correctness is crazy. Larry Summers
chart connect political correctness.
It should be. Larry Summers is not one of my favorites, but to kick the guy out of Harvard because he said there may be genetic differences between men and women, whoa.
He should have been kicked out.
No.
He absolutely should have been kicked out. But that's not what we're talking about. Can we get back to the Cougar angle? Because I'm enjoying it.
Let me ask you this. Look what happened to poor Demi Moore. Yeah. She hooked up with that moron millennial. She gave his whole career, she basically helped his whole career. What's the guy's name? Kutcher?
Kutcher.
And she's gorgeous, and she hung out with him, and she got destroyed.
Well, you know what? I don't want to date somebody younger and then come and say, hey, Mom, I'm home, to the guy, whoever I'm dating.
Scott, don't you think, Charlie, a millennial is watching this and said, they're not only bitter, they've lost their minds.
Charlie makes a very good point. If a woman is
I wasn't talking to you, Stephen. I was talking to Charlie.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't you think this reinforces an image?
Well, from the millennial perspective, yeah, it reinforces the image that we're angry and bitter, but there's a good reason for it.
No, there's not. There's never reason to be angry and bitter.
Listen to Mr. Leeb.
Charlie made a great point here. You took an older woman.
Beautiful, right?
Beautiful older woman, and she goes out with a millennial, and the millennial has no sense and destroys this woman's career. Yeah, now, that is wrong. And that's millennial. That's what a millennial does to a mature woman. And I think that's a great point.
And listen, I love Demi Moore. Actually,
I do too.
I mean, actually, there's one. I got one with my wife before we got married. I had one thing I could do with one
but
person.
I'm afraid we have reinforced all of Connell's points, and but. These guys are just crazy.
He was kind of smug.
Don't buy. Yeah, he does look kind of smug, and that's without a chart. We'll have a lot more after this.